Welcome back to Outside Views, and bro, we need to talk. And today I want to talk about a political and economic choice that perfectly encapsulate the decline of Great Britain, the so-called exodus of the billionaires. You see, the British government, first the Conservatives and then Labour, finally did something sensible. They closed a massive archaic tax loophole for the foreign super rich. And this move, aimed at basic fairness, has now triggered a predictable, petulant outcry from the world's wealthiest, who are apparently grabbing their yachts and their butlers and sailing off to places like Dubai. And frankly, my view is this: good riddance. For centuries, Britain has allowed the ultra-wealthy to operate a scam known as the non-dom tax status, short for non-domiciled resident. And this rule, which dates back to the days of the British Empire in 1799, allowed people who lived and worked in the UK to declare their official tax home was somewhere else. And the punchline? They only had to pay UK tax on their foreign earnings if they physically brought the money into the country, a system called the remittance basis. If their money stayed abroad, it was tax-free in Britain. It was a ridiculous, unfair, and utterly indefensible loophole that benefited a tiny number of the super rich, allowing them to enjoy all the benefits of British life, the infrastructure, the security, the legal system, while contributing a bare minimum. With public finances under immense strain, both major political parties finally agreed it had to go. The new rules implemented this year mean foreign income is no longer exempt, and crucially, it's now subject to inheritance tax. This is basic fairness and nothing more. The reaction from the billionaire class has been a masterclass in entitlement. Take shipping magnate John Frederickson. A naturalized Cypriot living in a $250 million Chelsea mansion, he is openly complaining that Britain is going down the drain because of the new tax changes. And his solution? Moving his multi-billion pound holding company to the United Arab Emirates. And he's not alone. We see steel billionaire Lakshmi Mittal, Goldman Sachs banker Richard Noddy, and the cement mogul Nassef Sawiris all making noises about leaving or already gone. The message from the wealth manager is clear. We are told this new regime will cause an exodus of 16,500 millionaires in 2025 alone, taking billions of pounds with them. And they want us to believe this is an economic catastrophe, a clear-cut case of slaughtering the goose that lays the golden eggs. And I say, that's fear-mongering nonsense. This entire narrative of the millionaire exodus is a threat, a political weapon designed to terrify governments into letting the wealthy keep their spatial privileges and their special privileges. It is, as Professor Roland Atkinson stated, an imposing metaphor used to push back against fairness. But we must look past the metaphor and really have to look at the facts. Firstly, those alarmist forecasts from investment migration consultancies like Henley and Partners, they are already being exposed by tax experts and media outlets for being full of errors and inaccuracies. The numbers simply don't stand up to serious scrutiny. And secondly, the UK has over 3 million millionaire-level individuals and hundreds of thousands of properties valued at over £1 million. A low 5-figure number of departures, even if they are among the most wealthy, is not an existential threat to the economy. The UK's own Office for Budget Responsibility estimates that despite a potential quarter of non-doms leaving, the new regime will bring in a staggering £34 billion in additional tax revenue over the next 5 years. They are choosing to bet on fairness, and that is a bet worth taking. And the real lesson here, the chilling truth that must inform every political debate about wealth, was articulated by Pascal Saint-Amans, the former head of the OECD's tax department. He said, "I suspect if you ask billionaires, where does your loyalty lie, with your country or your money, most would answer, my loyalty lies with my money. And this is the core of the issue. These are the ultra-mobile nomads of capital who feel no real connection to the place where they made or kept their fortune. Their decision to move is not a sign of Britain's failure, it's a signal of their own profound lack of loyalty. They see the UK, and particularly London, not as a nation to invest in or contribute to, but as a discrete business service, a jurisdiction of convenience. And when the service fee goes up, they move their business to a competitor, whether it's Dubai, Singapore, or Italy, where the tax incentives are better. And we have seen this before with the Russia sanctions. Capital moves fast when the rules change. The argument that all rich people will leave if you tax them fairly is a deeply flawed premise, used for decades to justify austerity for the many and loopholes for the few. A study by the London School of Economics already concluded that the fear of tax flight is wildly exaggerated. The very wealthy don't just consider tax, they look at the stability, the rule of law, the quality of schools for their children, the cultural life, and the professional risks of moving their entire lives. Family ties, career prospects, and simple administrative hassle often outweigh the desire to save a few tax percentage points. By focusing only on the exodus, the narrative ignores the overwhelming need for a fair contribution to the infrastructure, education, security, and democratic institutions that allow them to generate their wealth in the first place. Every wealthy person leaving is essentially admitting that they were only in the UK for the discount. The closure of the non-dom loophole is a rare and necessary step towards fiscal sanity and social contract renewal. The country has been forced to confront the harsh reality of its public finances, and it has rightly decided that a small class of people cannot continue to receive massive subsidies while the general public suffers. It's a moment of clarity that other European nations, including Germany and France, with their own debates over wealth taxes, should pay close attention to. And I mean in case of the loopholes. It's, from my point of view, not okay to tax someone double. That's the discussion made here by our extreme left party here in Germany. I don't want money to be taxed twice. But there are loopholes also here in Germany that need to be closed. And there, the closing of the loophole in Britain is quite a good example. The British public is demanding a fair contribution, and if a few thousand of the most financially self-interested people decide to leave, then so be it. It does not mean the entire Western world is in decline, as the aggrieved shipping magnate Fredrickson claims. It means one country is finally putting the needs of its many citizens ahead of the greed of a few dozen billionaires. And I believe Britain will be better for it in the long run. It's time to move on from the politics of pandering to the wealthiest and start investing in the institutions that serve everyone. So thanks for joining me today on Outside Views, and I'm really looking forward to your comments. And if you want to see another video right now, the next one is right here in the end screen. I'll see you there. I'll be back.